On the 30th of October 2015, Cassper made history as the first artist in South Africa to host a concert at the Ticket Pro Dome and have the attendance filled to capacity. This was not only a win for South African hip-hop, but more for artists in the South African music industry. South African artists have always been given the shorter end of the stick from local show promoters. AKA was a famous opposer to opening for international acts, citing bad treatment. Ever since then, Cassper has moved to different stadiums around the country, going from Orlando Stadium to stadiums in his home province in the northwest, down to the ultimate FNB Stadium. Cassper was also able to use the first show as a means to promote his next album by providing each attendee with a copy of the album, effectively selling 20,000 copies in one day. On the 21st of June 2016, Riky released Sidlukotini, which was produced by Gemini Major and Tweezy. The song title's direct translation is "We Eat Cotton," a reference to Ricky's love for clothes. Through constant promotion of the song and repetition of the name, it stuck. He subsequently called his fan base the Cotton Eaters and named his record label the Cotton Club. Riky appeared on an interview with Slicker to declare how he would like to find new artists and give them a platform.
And this is the thing I was like, I don't know if I should make an announcement. I'm not signing any artists, right? I don't want to sign artists. I don't want to take care of any artists. I don't want to have your career in my hands.
Of course, yeah.
What I am going to do for the ones who really want it, what I'm going to do is help everybody who really needs it, who identify potential.
Soon after, we were given a Whole Thing remix with a little-known Frank Casino. This would energize Frank by basically giving him the South African equivalent to a Drake starter pack. Riky would ultimately give those packs to the Big Hash and Uncle Vinny. Riky would also follow this up with a Cotton Lab podcast. Cassper has always been great at promoting himself. From the moment Gusheshe dropped and he could publicly be seen, he had a talking point. The ponytail, the music video in the hood, and the AKA beef. All of these were talking points that allowed him to sell the massive numbers that he sold and ultimately succeed in filling up the dome. As much as filling up these stadiums has done for the South African music industry, in the industry recognizing the numbers homegrown artists could pull, it did not have the desired effect, where brands would host artists around the country, providing stages and opportunities for artists to do shows, and even stages half as big as Philip. Cassper is and always will be the main act of Philip. Cassper is the only artist that brands can believe in to pull these kind of numbers. Cotton Fest, on the other hand, has brought many brands and allowed stages to be filled by many artists. The first show, although it had a lower budget and a lower attendance, it set the stage for the idea. Cotton Fest offers 3 stages, each with different fan bases. Riky was able to recognize this, which brought in a lot more attendees the second time around. The space chosen, which is the Newtown station, is a relatively small area, which makes it all the more amazing that attendees of over 11,000 people was achieved. For the 2 years it ran, it really shone a spotlight on the few rising artists that were on the come up. Each year, brands were introduced to bankable artists. In the first year, the main stage was owned by Riky himself, while the Rage stage was a hash stage. In the second year, Costa Titch was the face of the Rage stage, while A. Reese stole the show on the main stage. It seemed with Cotton Fest, while Riky was getting bulk of the shine, other artists were still able to perform for a bigger stage than they were used to, while having physical proof of their reach and engagement in the real world. This allows brands, who are always objectively watching for tastemakers to bank on, to identify the many artists who have a big enough following to endorse. I would be remiss if I did not mention the Ivyson tour. Nasty C has toured South Africa city to city, taking his show on the road. The Ivyson tour is probably the best example of both ideas working to the fullest extent. Nasty, who is the face of the show, has proven his ability to put on a high-end show and draw a crowd. However, he still has artists in the show who are also given just as much spotlight. The last tour had artists like Focalistic, Manu, and 25K who were given shine. Cassper's Fill-Up series was a great showcase of the heights South African music could reach. Having 65,000 people show up and pay money for a homegrown talent is a measure of success that can't be compared. Without fail, Cassper will undoubtedly go down as an artist who envisioned a different South African music industry and acted on it. Cotton Fest, on the other hand, has allowed brands to start looking more and more into artists that can be invested in. Sponsorships and brand deals allow artists to take bigger steps in growing the hip-hop culture in South Africa. We need to find a way to bridge the gap and get more artists to live out their dreams. I would love to see a Costa Titch, Blackie, and a Frank Casino go on tour together and have a Vegas Caesar and Patrick Lee open up for them. I don't need to see Shane Eagle on tour alone. Why not a Shane Eagle and a youngster CPT together? Maximize profits and grow the culture.
Tonight, please do yourself a favor and understand that everything that's happening here is against all motherfucking odds. This shit is only possible when you get a group of young, beautiful, black, smart motherfuckers in one room